Hey everybody, welcome to So Awkward. It's me, Don.
I'm Jester.
And we're here in the parking lot of the brand new Tim Hortons Coffee and Donuts.
I don't know.
I think it's brand new.
I think within the week.
Because I texted you, what, on like Sunday?
Right.
I was like, hey, we should try out that new Tim Hortons. And you said it's not open yet.
Right. But I could have been lying.
You're watching So Awkward. This is Freddy Krueger saying hi.
So this used to be, your dad is furious.
Right, Donnie's mad.
Because this used to be White Castle.
This was White Castle.
Your dad already tried it and hated it.
Donnie tried it and hated it.
But he was already in a bad mood because it's not White Castle anymore. He probably ordered some sliders, right? And they said no. Because he complained about the service. What did he say?
Yeah, he said something about the service.
Does Donnie watch this show?
No.
Okay, good.
Does Donnie watch the show?
I don't know what Donnie does.
Donnie hardly knows how to turn a computer on.
Anyway, let's go check it out. A half hour later?
Quite possibly more than a half hour later.
That was a shit show.
We got 2 donuts.
We got 6 Tim bits, which are little donut holes.
And then we each got a small coffee.
Black coffee, no cream or sugar.
Right, there's nothing in here.
Took a half hour.
It took over a half hour.
Well, first of all, it wasn't even that big of a line.
There were like 4, 5 people in front of us.
And it took forever. And one of the women customers got like an insane order.
Right.
So then when she left, it was like, oh, now it's gonna pick up, and it didn't. It maybe even got worse.
It possibly got worse. The guy that took our order took the order. He had trouble doing.
Right, I was gonna say he couldn't like. You ordered the strawberry donut, and he had to because he was clearly going through page after page on the screen looking for it.
So I got this strawberry donut.
Strawberry cheesecake
donut, and then while we were standing in line, they took one of the trays of donuts away, even though it still had 2 donuts on it.
The brownie batter donut.
It was the one you were gonna get.
Is it hot at least?
So, no. Oh. So we got up there. And you said, do you still have the brownie batter donut? And he had to go in back and see if they still had it.
And they did.
They did.
After we placed the order and paid for it, it just disappeared.
Right. He just walked away.
He just walked away.
And none of this had to be made for us.
Yeah, this
was all already made. But somehow we stood in line forever. And you had to go up and say, I didn't get any of my stuff.
Well, even while we were waiting for our food, almost every customer ahead of us, and even when we were in line to order, had some kind of problem. Like, oh, I didn't get this bagel I ordered. And I was like, what? And then they would call in the back, bagel? So at least 3 or 4 customers, just before we got our food, we saw their orders were messed up and had to get, like...
The girl directly in front of us ordered a hot peppermint tea, and they brought her out an iced tea, which wasn't even completely filled. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't notice that.
And she said, I ordered a hot peppermint tea. And then the girl went in back, and I could see her and someone else lifting up every single box of tea that they had because they couldn't figure out which one peppermint was. And she came back out and said, we don't have peppermint.
Right, I saw that part.
So the girl said, okay, I'll have chamomile. And you could tell she didn't even know what chamomile tea was. So then,
I had to wait for this girl to stop to get to the next customer, and I kind of came up and I said, can somebody check on my order? And she took it, and it was like it was in hieroglyphics.
Right. And then she also disappeared for a little while.
She disappeared for like a couple minutes. And then she came back. Obviously, nobody in the back was any help because she went to the other guy who was ringing and said...
Handed him the receipt.
Yeah, handed him the receipt. And he was like, well, what didn't you get? And I said, none of it. So did you even get the coffees? I said, no, we didn't get anything. And then this other lady, who was probably some kind of manager, came over and she said, I'll get your order for you, don't worry, and I'll give you a refund. Which she did. She gave me a refund, which was like $7.
Right.
It was very cheap.
Very cheap.
Reasonably priced, we'll see. And then, but the guy had my receipt, but then he kept asking me, because he was finally getting the stuff.
Right.
But he kept asking me, what was the next one? It's like, So I don't know if he couldn't even read the receipt or if just the guy just didn't ring us up correctly.
Right.
I don't have the receipt now. They took it from me. So that's our story.
That's our story.
Oh, this better be good. Not impressed. And it's not, I know they just opened.
Right.
But still, this is a huge corporation. The guy who ringing us up couldn't even find the things on the register.
And they had
Give them some training.
They had a lot of staff.
They had a lot of staff.
There's no reason anybody should have been waiting as long as they were. There were a lot of people working.
And it's one thing to not be very good at your job or to not be trained or to not know how to do it. It's another thing just they weren't terribly friendly.
Right.
And what's with the... This is clearly a Christmas cup.
This is a Christmas cup. And the other cup we saw, I'm assuming just the next size up, was red. And what did it have on it? It's just they're still using Christmas cups.
Oh, also there's no sleeves.
Right, so...
Like, they didn't give us a sleeve on the coffee, and I couldn't... There was no condiment bar or anything anywhere.
No.
So, standing there waiting for our donuts after we finally got our coffee, it was like... I got to hold it like this.
Right.
And I didn't want to... Just one more thing I would have to ask for.
Yeah. So, no condiment bar.
Yeah.
And, this happens everywhere I go. But they still left me so much room that I could add an inch of cream to this.
Yeah. It's decent coffee.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's not like extraordinary, but I like... It's fast food coffee. I like fast food coffee. This is comparable to McDonald's. I like my McDonald's coffee. Brownie batter donut.
This is gonna be a mess.
I bit into it.
Oh, and it came out the other side.
It's like a Juicy Lucy. It tastes like brownie batter. They didn't skip on the filling. It's oozing out. It's a pretty good donut. How's that?
This is fine.
Yours doesn't have as much filling as mine.
No, mine doesn't. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Does it taste like cheesecake?
No. It just tastes like strawberry. Once I finally got to the filling, it tastes like cheesecake.
Yeah.
It just took a long time to get there.
There's like the brownie batter filling is slowly sliding down my throat. It's like it's so thick. It's like it's still there. Like I can feel it going down my throat into my stomach through my intestines.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not. Oh, we should also talk about their donut selection.
Oh, yeah, they had a really shitty donut selection.
Yeah, they had a really shitty donut selection. I wanted blueberry to compare it with my favorite donut, which is the blueberry donut at Dunkin' Donuts, but they didn't have that. They had like 6 different donuts. And then they had a bunch of like muffins, which all look really good, but I'm not going to get a muffin at a donut shop.
Right.
And then we got these little donut holes. Apple fritter, which I'm hoping it might actually be blueberry. Because they look like blueberry.
Yeah, they do.
But it said apple fritter and then honey dipped.
Right. Whatever that means.
It's blueberry.
It's absolutely blueberry.
This is good, and we got what we wanted, blueberry. Mm-hmm. But it's another notch against them because they had their donuts labeled wrong. And labeled for us. Like there was a label on these that said apple fritter. Is it? Mm-hmm. And so even when I said apple fritter, he grabbed these. Right. So even they don't know what their own products are.
Now, what is this? Honey dipped?
Honey dipped. It's chewy. It's pretty good though.
I don't taste honey.
Yeah, I taste sugar. Mm-hmm. I think if I ever came back...
You won't?
I'm not going to say no.
Oh, okay.
I'll give them a couple months. I'll give them a shakedown period. If I ever came back, though, I would just get the Timbits and the coffee because these are better than that donut. So, do you recommend Tim Hortons?
Nah.
Nah. Mm-mm. They did give me my money back.
They did.
I like these little Timbits, though. They're good. Dunkin' Donuts is fast food, but you go to Dunkin' Donuts, and maybe it's just because they're so busy, they taste fresh.
Right.
Like you can get a freshly baked donut. This is good. This has a more strong blueberry flavor than the Dunkin' Donuts blueberry donut. But it just tastes like it's been sitting there. It's just not a fresh Timbit.
It is not.
So if you got a hankering for a donut in the Twin Cities, you have a lot of better options. How far are we from Mellow Glaze? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
5 minutes?
Go to Mellow Glaze.
We'll show you Mellow Glaze next time.
You know what's funny? You know what I'm hungry for? A slider. You know where I can get a slider? So yeah, this is one of the, I hate to say it, and we said this inside, Donnie was right.
Donnie was right.
I give this experience 1.5 Donnies out of 5. Maybe we'll come back sometime and give them another try, but this was a pretty dismal experience.
We're gonna wait a while.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Sorry you watched.